Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Jack. Today I want to talk about the recent bombings that the U.S. did in Yemen. And the reason why I want to talk about these is because I contend that, on the one hand, Trump has committed war crimes, similar to when Barack Obama killed Al-Awlaki, the kid who was the son of a terrorist, American citizen, blew him up in a cafe with a bunch of civilians, just to show the terrorists, that we're tough or whatever, by killing non-terrorists and civilians. So I'm going to contend that he had a similar situation. I'm going to show the proof. I'm going to show the proof of that. And the other thing is that this is totally not what America voted for. 100. This is totally not America first. It's totally not. I'm going to show you a clip of him literally saying that he's not going to do this if you vote for him. So let's break down the first claim that he's committed this war crime. Okay. So what happened is, let's just go to this article actually. Okay. So this is from the Washington Times. So this will be the second link. No, I'll put it as the first. I'll move them around. This will be the first link in the description. And then U.S. airstrikes pound Yemen overnight, killing at least 3 Houthi rebels say. Now, the reason why I'm putting this article out here is to point out. Oh, we got an advertisement in the way. Okay, is to point out this. Basically, they've changed the targets. Okay, so an Associated Press review has found the new American operation against the Houthis under President Donald Trump appears more extensive than those under former President Joe Biden. So he's doing more of what he said he wouldn't do, as the U.S. moves from solely targeting launch sites to firing at ranking personnel, as well as dropping bombs in cities. Okay? So this is definitely worse than what Biden did, because Biden was just targeting launch sites. He's dropping bombs in cities, and he's targeting ranking personnel. He's also targeting political personnel. So like, do you remember when the Iranian video came out? I don't even know if it was from Iran, but it was like the drone watching him from the bushes, watching Trump, like kind of like a threat that they were going to assassinate him. And he's like, if you do anything to me, all hell will rain down on you. No, that's what America does to other countries, though. Assassinates their political leaders, right? So, and it's also what Israel does, honestly, if we're just being really honest. So now I'm going to take you to a second article. Now, this is from The Atlantic, and you can't link stuff to The Atlantic because you guys won't be able to get it unless you subscribe. So this is done through the Wayback Machine. So you'll be able to read it if you don't subscribe to The Atlantic. Please don't, and I don't. So here are the attack plans that Trump's advisors shared on Signal, is the name of the article, written by Jeffrey Goldberg, the guy who was in on the... I don't really want to talk about the scandal of the Signal scandal, or whether it was or was not a scandal. I want to talk about some of the stuff they said that was incriminated in the messages, not the breach of intelligence or breach of security. I mean, okay. So basically, at 1:48 p.m., Waltz sent the following text containing real-time intelligence. I don't care about that, about conditions at the attack site. So here's what he says: "Quote: VP building collapsed. Had multiple positive ID. Pete Kurilla, the IC, amazing job." Waltz was referring here to Hegseth, who's Pete, General Michael E. Kurilla, the commander of Central Command, and the intelligence community, or IC. So he's thanking the IC that they took VP building collapsed. Okay. So the reference to multiple positive IDs suggests that U.S. intelligence had ascertained the identities of the Houthi targets, or targets using either human or technical assets. 6 minutes later, the vice president, apparently confused by Waltz's message, wrote, "What?" At 2 p.m., so it's 12 minutes later, Waltz responded, typing too fast. The first target, their top missile guy, we had positive ID of him walking into his girlfriend's building, and now it's collapsed. I mean, this is literally confessions, okay? Vance responded a minute later. Excellent. 35 minutes after that, Ratcliffe, the CIA director, wrote, "A good start," which Waltz followed with a text containing a fist emoji, an American flag emoji, and a fire emoji. I despise these people. The Houthi-run Yemeni health ministry reported that at least 53 people were killed in the strikes, a number that has not been independently verified. If we go over here to this previous article, and in this article, they're going to say, oh no, I've ruined everything. In this, oh my gosh, advertisements, killing me. In this one, they're going to put it at 61 people. Houthis now say they have killed at least 61 people. So that's from the Houthis. We don't know if that's correct or not. But my point here is this. If you take this is their missile guy. So I don't know if he's a military guy or if he's just a missile expert. But let's just say let's favorite thing in Donald Trump's favor and say that he was actually in the military, right? and then he's going over to his girlfriend's house in the city, and you bomb the girlfriend's apartment, including the buildings around it and all of that take damage and all the deaths and stuff like that. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You literally can't do that. I mean, can we just agree on that? You can't do that. It's the same thing that the Israelis do, where they take even a low-level guy, where's daddy, follow him home, and then when he, via satellites and drones and other stuff, and then, 2 a.m., they bomb the home with the kids and the wife, and I'm sorry, you can't do that. That's a war crime. So my point here is that this is a war crime. They admitted it. Now, Donald Trump may not have, he learned about it later, like he didn't give the go for it. And in the articles, they specifically say that one of the other new strategies that the United States is doing is they're giving much more leeway on targets and stuff to the actual commanders that are out there. And so it's a less top-down approach. And so the commanders that made the order, in my opinion, that's a war crime. These people in this group chat who are a part of this, it's a war crime. And the buck stops with Donald Trump, in my opinion. Put in the description if you agree. Are we just killing civilians? Are we totally okay with that? Okay, so now let's go on to the second part. I mean, I just think that that's fine on the first part. Like, if you're just totally fine with killing military targets, girlfriends, and people in the apartment next to them and the apartments around them in the middle of a city, if you think that that's okay, then you know what I mean. I think pretty lowly. You try to convince me in the comments, I just doubt it. So, anyways, let's go on to the second part. Now, basically, I'm gonna show you this video that went kind of viral. I'm saying, and this happened. So this went viral recently. It's from when Donald Trump went on Tim Pool's show for a brief interview before the election. And so I'll put that as the third reference below if you want to go to Twitter and see it yourself or download it or anything like that. The first and second will be these articles that I showed you. And let's just play it right now and see what they got to say.
I look at your policies, I see secure the borders, bring jobs back. I look at the Democrats and many Republicans, and it's foreign war and foreign expansion.
That's right.
What is that?
I think it's just a failed mentality. It's crazy. You can solve problems over a telephone. Instead, they start dropping bombs. I see recently they're dropping bombs all over Yemen. You don't have to do that. You can talk in such a way where they respect you and they listen to you. Viktor Orban of Hungary, the leader, they call him a strong man. Who cares if he's a strong man or not a strong man? He's a very powerful guy. He said the problem the world has is that Donald Trump is no longer president. When he was president, China didn't play around, Russia didn't play around, nobody played around, and we had no problems. Today, the whole world is on fire.
I heard that.
I particularly like how he ended that because I was going to clip it a little bit, so it wasn't the full 45 seconds, but I love how he ended that, and he said everything was on fire before, and everything's on fire during Biden, and under his presidency, no problems. And so now, there are no problems in the world. He's bombing Yemen. They're rebombing Gaza. He's escalating with Russia. And now he may have a plan there. I'm not going to prejudge him, but Europe is preparing for nuclear attacks. Okay, we're stick to the Yemen thing. People voted for no war. He literally said Yemen with a phone call. And now he's bombing more extensively than Biden was. Now, not for a longer period, because Biden bombed for quite a long period. He's doing it on behalf of, in those messages, from the signal messages, you could tell they're doing it on behalf of Europe, right? They're not doing it on behalf of Europe. They are doing it on behalf of Europe in the sense that Europe is the most economically hurt by the Yemeni attacks on the shipping, right? But the only reason Yemen is having the attacks on the shipping is because of the genocide in Gaza. We know that because they started it and said, hey, we're doing this because the genocide in Gaza started doing it, right? Hamas got a ceasefire. They said, hey, we're stopping doing it because we're only doing it because of that genocide over there. And then when Israel broke the rules of the ceasefire and started the genocide again, they said, oh, Israel started the genocide again. We're doing it again. And so now Yemen is attacking the shipping lanes again. So them attacking the shipping lanes, sure, it affects the Europeans more than anybody else. And so we're doing it ostensibly on behalf of the Europeans, but we're not. We're doing it to support we're doing it to support Israel's genocide at Gaza. And it's insane. Everybody in the world should be attacking the shipping lanes or whatever you could do, whatever your country could do. Yemen's a very poor country, and they're doing more than any other. This is factual. Any other country in the world, and you could say maybe Iran or something like that. I don't know, through their proxies, but I don't. They're actually creating an effect, you know. Anyways, I think this whole topic's disgusting. I still Donald Trump's better than Kamala Harris, which is a just terrible situation to be in your country. And in my opinion, there's no solution within the system. I've said that many times. All evidence points towards that. Try to convince me in the comments if you think differently. Anyways, a couple small things. If you're on Rumble, I tried to do that thing with the Rumble where I was going to get it to no advertisements. Turned out that was a lie in the email, and that's not a real thing. I cannot do that. It's only for viewers. The Rumble Premium. We're at 994 subscribers on Rumble, 6 away from 1,000. That's an interesting thing, you know. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe because they're in the 900s, but they're not going to win. I just think. Anyways, also on the T-shirt thing, I want to say I was saying I was going to sell T-shirts. The problem is I ran into a snag. Let me tell you what it is. You could go to the Sticker Mule and you can have them make the shirts for you, and I don't have the overhead to cover it. And so in this way, if you did Sticker Mule, there's no overhead. They just make the shirts. And then the two problems with that is, number one, you can't, you're going to get censored based on the content, which means there's no point in making the shirts anyways, because I want to make the shirts to sell them, to get a message out, not to make the money. And on this second hand, they would be so expensive that I wouldn't go buy those shirts. And I can't pitch you shirts to buy if they're too expensive, more expensive than the shirts that I would buy. And then the other option would be to just pay the overhead, buy all the stuff, and do it from home, which Victor said he would donate a couple grand to get that started. And then have the wife print them up, basically have the really nice, have the wife do them. And I could sell them extremely affordable if I did that. The problem is I don't have 100% confidence that I would be able to recoup the money to pay Victor out without having to pay him out back out of pocket. And then also the overhead I can't just keep adding overhead. So adding the overhead for the website every month, you know what I mean? And then I'm already got a bunch of stuff that I can't afford that I'm doing to get the channel going. Anyway, so I'm kind of stalled. If you got any ideas with the shirts, like clever ideas of how I could finagle it, like a better option, or like a way to make the website to sell the shirts that's super low cost. Like if you have any inside information on that, put it in the comments. Anyways, that's what I got for you. And on Thursday, I got an excellent episode on this new thing I've been researching. It's all of these people who are Christians and they're crazy, insane psychopaths in a death cult. It's a larger percentage of Christianity than I thought. This is not a straw man. And they're all just trying to push everything politically, everything toward Armageddon so that they could wash themselves in the blood of their enemies who turn out to be Christians. Wild story that I just cannot believe it. Anyways, got that for you Thursday. Hope to see you then.